Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Adam with Global Abundance LLC, back with another video. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping in. If you are already part of the family, hey, welcome back. On this channel, we talk all things real estate, residential, and commercial, and a little bit of credit, financial literacy, personal development sprinkled right on top of that. Right, all of that is important as a real estate investor. So I try to touch up on a few other things too that would benefit you. So we also have a free VIP group where a group of investors and like-minded individuals like yourself share, dig deep into different aspects of the real estate community, and we just learn and grow as a community together, sharing ideas, swapping what's working, um, and answering the tough questions. So if you want to join that, the link is in the description below. Uh, if you find value in this content, I got to ask you to like, share, subscribe. So go ahead and do that if you haven't done that, and look forward to serving. So today's video is about me just sharing some inspirational quotes that kind of relate to the real estate industry, and they're quotes by some people you may know, some people you may have heard of, depending on your age, or maybe you haven't heard of them. But I found these some of these quotes to be pretty profound, so I'm gonna kind of go through it. Um, Forgive me if I butcher some of these people's names or I say their names wrong, but uh, yeah, hey, I'm here to drop the quote and see if you can gain some value from that quote. So the first one is by Adair or Adair, and what he said was, if you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait until you hire an amateur. Wow. Right? Let's go through that one again. If you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait until you hire an amateur. How many of you out there watching this video can attest to that? That, when you aim for quality and not quantity, you know what I mean? Like, you get a better result. Like, would you agree to that? Would you agree that, you know, that professional attorney that may cost you $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever it costs you, might be a better idea than that, public defender? Would you uh, agree that maybe, you know, um, going to that professional business, even though it's going to cost you more than the guy or girl down the street that, just does it out the backyard, and nothing wrong with that. Hey, man, we all start somewhere. Okay. So we all don't start at the top. In fact, 99.99% of us don't start at the top. So, I'm not downing anybody that's getting it popping on them by themselves, out of the backyard, out of their car trunk, out of whatever. Like, look, I'm gonna share some stories with you, over time, about how I've flown to the other side of the globe and came back. Some of y'all that know me personally and knew me back when I was a teenager and in my 20s, you know what I'm talking about. I've flown to as far as Asia to get things to come back and sell. You know what I mean? So we all start somewhere, right? So uh, I'm not talking bad about nobody that's kicking off or doing something out the back of the trunk, or doing something out of the yard, or out of the house. You got to start somewhere, right? But if you are, like the man said, if you think hiring a professional costs a lot of money, wait till you hire an amateur that, isn't as committed and serious to whatever it is that you're looking to get done, right? You want your problem solved. Do you, trying to go with the cheapest option? or are you going with the option that could really work? You know, I think that's very relatable to, real estate, because, are you doing business with somebody that's a professional that takes this very serious, or are you just doing this with somebody who doesn't have any integrity, doesn't have any morals and principles, and is just after a quick buck? Because though they may be cheaper, or though they may appear to be the better option or the quickest, uh, less strenuous option, you end up finding out down the line that that's the option you shouldn't have ran with. All right, so um, that was a hell of a quote. Shout out to that guy. He's passed away, but um, that was a hell of a quote. The next quote is from Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams. And what he said is, success is actually a short race, a sprint fueled by discipline, just long enough for habit to kick in and take over. Wow. Like, let's run that one back again. Success is actually a short race, a sprint fueled by discipline, just long enough for habits to kick in and take over. Man, sitting and ponder on that for a second. That's deep. You know, when we think of habits, generally we think of bad habits, right? Oh, that guy got a habit. You're thinking of a drug habit. You're thinking of, oh, he's a chain smoker, or he's an alcoholic, or he's whatever it is. You know what I mean? We think of habits as being bad, but being successful is habitual too. Like, that's a habit. Being successful is a habit. It takes certain successful habits to become successful and stay consistent and stay in that flow state and stay in that zone where you just consistently just stepping up to the plate, just knocking them out the park. That's a habit, right? Kobe was Kobe, right? But Kobe was Kobe because he had habits to get him to be that Kobe that he was. You know what I mean? R.I.P. MJ. Like, we all know what MJ did, but was MJ just because, God just doused him with greatness? Or was MJ probably at some point habitually practicing to perfect the craft that he so greatly did in his time playing, right? Like, habits don't have to be bad habits. Habits are successful habits too. So habits are good things as well. Like, get into the habit of, maybe you're exercising, maybe you're getting into, getting your body in order. So you got to get into the habit of good eating, good dieting, good exercise plans, right? You're creating that habit. We're talking about real estate here. So what are some good habits of being successful? Well, knowing what asset class that you're really trying to, if you're an investor, you're trying to be an investor, what asset class am I going after? Am I going to focus on residential? Am I going to focus on commercial? And then what does it take for me to get that property under contract and move that deal through the finish line? And what are some of the things that the people who are doing those things do every day to be able to stay in that position and place themselves there? That's what I need to do, right? That's how you got to think. Um, Habits aren't just, about all the bad stuff. You know what I mean? Like, habits are good as well. So, man, shout out to Gary Keller for that one. That was a good quote right there. So the next one is from Will Rogers, a famous actor. and performer who died in the 1930s. And what he specifically said is, don't wait to buy real estate, buy real estate and wait. Man, that's cold. Again, I'm going to say it again. Don't wait to buy real estate, buy real estate and wait. What are you waiting on? Oh, I don't have money. Well, I've told you in other videos that's a myth. You don't need money to be a real estate investor. Does it take money to do the deal? Yes. But who said that had to be your money? You could be broke, pockets swinging. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, man, you don't even have a pocket. Like, it's just air just flowing through the side of your jeans, right? That doesn't mean you can't do a deal, because there's somebody that is pockets is heavy and they're looking to get that heaviness out of their pocket and into a deal. So if you bring the right deal to them, they're going to be able to fund that deal. So you don't need your money, or, you don't need your own money. There's people with money that want to invest in those deals that you have. They are hungry, constantly losing sleep looking for money to deploy into the right deal. Like, they're there. I'm talking about losing sleep every day because they're not finding enough deals to put their money into. So get out of this mindset that you got to wait for everything to be right and perfect and just all cookies and cream. I was a perfectionist back when I was younger, but I got up out of that because perfection is like it's gonna stagnate you. You know what I mean? Like, one thing I heard recently, a quote from somebody I have a lot of respect for is, done is better than good. Right? Like, done is better than good. It doesn't have to be perfect, but did you do it? Right? So don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Buy that property and buy and hold. Why? Because we've talked about this in other videos as well. It's about hard assets and wealth transfer. So why wait to buy real estate when you believe the markets are going to be perfect? Or, oh, let me wait because they're saying it's crashing right now and I need to hold off. No, buy real estate right now and then wait. Let that thing appreciate. Allow yourself to get that depreciation, you know what I mean, as well, and benefit from the ability of that. Okay, so shout out to Will Rogers for that. Also, he's obviously passed away, 1930s. But yeah, that was a good quote. The next one is from Warren Buffett. I'm sure all you know who Warren Buffett is. No, none of us here are under a rock, so we all know who Warren Buffett is. But Warren Buffett said, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." Man, like, could it be any more clear than that? Like, could it be any more simple than that? Whatever it is, 8-9 word sentence. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. That's why education is the key. But is it just about education? No, it's not about the plaques on your wall. Shout out to all my people that went to college and graduated with honors and valedictorians in their field, and they like really like hit the home run on the college level. Shout out to y'all. But how many of y'all have gotten that good degree? How many of you guys have master's degrees? Didn't even get involved in the industry that you got a master's for. Spend all that time, all that money, going to school, going to college to get a degree that you proudly placed on your wall, and you're not even in the industry. Like, it's not about just education, right? It's about applicable information. how can I apply this information to my life? How can I apply this information to what I'm doing? How can I apply this information to help solve this person's problem? So, like Warren Buffett said, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing, right? When you know what you're doing, then you're minimizing the risk. Okay. Based on me knowing what I'm doing, I know that, hey, this may not work out. This may not be the best avenue for you, so on and so forth, right? So in real estate, not knowing what you're getting into. If you say you're selling and you don't really understand, your first time home buyer, you're selling and are not really in tune with what's going on. There's going to be a higher risk factor there based on who you're dealing with, how you are offloading that property, and other factors in between. If you are an investor, whether beginner or seasoned, you know what I mean? If you don't know what you're doing, if this particular deal that somebody brought you isn't inside your wheelhouse, there might be some high risk here. You don't know what you're doing, right? Maybe you are a residential god or goddess, right? But when it comes to commercial, like, you have no idea what's going on there. So somebody brings you this commercial deal. Somebody brings you an office building that's, a Class A office building in a nice suburban area that is prime for, repurposing and adding value by, say, you want to turn it into some multifamily or some senior housing or student housing, maybe, if it's in that right area, right? You've only been dealing with single family homes. So are you sure you want to take that on, an office building, and convert it into multifamily, right? Maybe you should partner with somebody that has some more game that you can then sit up as a intermediary, or just, just learning by sitting on the sidelines and watching and participating, but, not being in the lead role in learning from the situation. And then you can start, buying office buildings like your hair's on fire, and converting them. But, that was very profound too. Quote from Warren Buffett: risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. And the last one is from Barbara Corcoran. We all know her from Shark Tank and, other avenues that she's been in, in her life. Um, a complainer is like a Death Eater because there's a suction of negative energy. You can catch a great attitude from great people. And let's go back over that one again. A complainer is like a Death Eater because there's a suction of negative energy, and you can catch a great attitude from great people. Wow. How many of us have those energy drainers in our life? How many of us have those negative Nancys, or those, negative Nathans around us all day? Constantly talking about what you can't do, constantly talking about what they can't do, constantly talking about, oh, the weather's messed up, or man, this person, this, that. And it just constantly complaining. Like, I get it. I complain. I'm positive that you've complained in your life. You watching this, but something that I did back in the day, as I was going through some transformational training years ago, was an exercise that one of the coaches put us through, and this was a difficult task. What was that task? For 30 days, we were to not complain about anything. Now, this isn't just outwardly complaining, like, oh man, the weather's, it's kind of cold out here. Like, something that you verbally saying out of your mouth, but doesn't what comes out of your mouth start in your mind? So even just having the thought of complaining or something that you don't like, being aware enough of how you're showing up and being, so you're not even having those negative complaining thoughts that then produce the words that come out your mouth that you then spew out into the universe complaining, right? Like that was extremely difficult. Um, if you complained, you had to start over. I think I started over countless amount. I don't know how many times I started over, but I know I started over a gang of times. So something you might want to give a shot to, take self-awareness. How much do you complain in your life? How much do you complain about what somebody else is doing? How much complaining does people around you do that you weren't never even aware of? Maybe until you watch this and realize like, damn, I do a lot of damn complaining. Wow, I'm always whining and complaining and, upset about something, right? Like that's not positive energy. And you definitely don't want people like that around you. And in regards to real estate, having naysayers, you're starting off, you're trying to get into this. You're trying to bust through that myth of I need money to invest in real estate and not realizing, no, you just need to get educated and you need to find the right deal. And then the money will find that deal. Trust me, there's money out there to deploy for the right deal all day, twice on Sunday, and so on and so forth. So how can I, you know, get myself around people that are positive attitude, that are constantly trying to break down problems and move forward, not complaining, not giving up, not, throwing in the towel as soon as, you hit a pothole, and just moving forward at all costs, right? Like that's the kind of people you want to have around you when you're starting off as a real estate investor. And if you're a seasoned investor, you know this to be true, that if all your team does is complain and whine and just constantly complaining, like that's not the strong team that you want to be on, right? Like everybody, throwing their hands up, everybody just upset and mad. Like, how are you going to get anywhere? You can't catch a great attitude from, you can catch a great attitude from great people, like Barbara Cochran said. So I love these quotes. I hope you did too. Uh, these were some good quotes that I felt that I wanted to just make a quick video about. And I hope this hasn't went too long for you. But that's where we'll end it off here. I hope you found some value in this and you found some jewels and some aha moments, some nuggets. If you did, please jump down in those comments below and let's talk about it. Go and give me some feedback, your experience, same thing, some questions, some quotes that that you have that are profound. Let's have a conversation. Let's throw some good energy around and just stay motivated about life and real estate and success, because remember, success is a habit too. All right. So if you found value, hey, like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.